Hello, everybody. This is the last model test before the upcoming exam. Even though many of you might be traveling or not in a position to listen to more questions, I thought some of you might want more questions. Some of you might be motivated by me and our session. So I thought we'll have a session today as well. Don't worry if you can't remember all these or nothing really matters. Just let us enjoy discussing some questions. That's all. Okay. Which of the following novels is set in the Free Town, the place called Free Town in British Sierra Leone? It is a novel by Greene. Is it Heart of the Matter, The Honorary Consul, The End of the Affair, or The Quiet American? Some of these novels like Honorary Consul and Quiet American are about international espionage, about international intrigue. Heart of the Matter and End of the Affair are Catholic novels. The answer is Heart of the Matter. In Heart of the Matter, there is a constable called Henry Scobie. He lives in a colony in the west coast of Africa. Sierra Leone is in the west coast of Africa. And he is doing some things against Catholicism. For example, he is falling in love. He is having an extramarital affair. He is engaged in some financial perversions, financial wrongdoings, and he ultimately commits suicide. That is what happens in The Heart of the Matter. Remember, the Catholic novels are Brighton Rock, The Power and the Glory, The Heart of the Matter, and The End of the Affair. Sometimes they ask about Greene. The Quiet American is set against the Vietnam War. Vietnam War. Next question. Which book by Chaucer? We have included very simple questions. We don't want you to get stressed. We don't want to show off by giving you very tough questions and make it look like we know better. You don't know. We don't want to do that. So most of the questions are very simple questions, honestly meant to draw your attention to important areas. Troilus and Cresside is the book dedicated to O Moral Gower. Why moral gower? Because Gower was very didactic. He was very moralistic in his writings. Troilus and Cresside is taken from the stories of the Trojan War, Iliads. And it was written in Chaucerian stanza, the 7-lined Chaucerian stanza, which later came to be called Rhyme Royal, because it was written by James I of Scotland. In the exam, there will be a lot of simple questions. Just relax, think clearly. Do not study too much tonight, or just relax, sleep. And tomorrow morning, tell yourself, I will remember. It is going to be easy. Okay? Be in control of yourselves. In which Elizabethan play is an entire nunnery destroyed by poisoned rice given as charity? Remember, an Elizabethan and Jacobean play, actually. It's a Jacobean play, not Elizabethan. Entire nunnery is destroyed by, it is Elizabethan, end of the 19th century. Sorry, 16th century. After that, Jacobean period came. No, this is right. Elizabethan is right. He wrote this play, which is Jew of Malta, one of his earlier plays. Jew of Malta by Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe depicted Barabbas, a Jew who is being ill-treated by the Christians, and he is so angry, he does not forgive even his daughter, who runs away with a Christian. His daughter, Abigail, runs away with Lorenzo, and she goes and takes refuge in a nunnery, and this man does not even spare his own daughter. That is Jew of Malta. There is a second villain in Jew of Malta, that is Ithamor. He's a Turkish slave. Okay, in which work of Milton do you see melancholy personified as a goddess? Now, there will be questions which you actually know, but when you see the question from a different perspective, don't go wrong. Relax. Think whether each of these can be the answer, but think quickly because we don't have a lot of time. So, Milton depicts melancholy as a goddess in Il Penseroso, whereas in L'Allegro, he depicted Euphrosyne, the goddess of mirth. Euphrosyne is the goddess of mirth. Melancholy is in Il Penseroso. Who wrote the poems On Poetry, a Rhapsody, and The Grand Question Debated? These are two poems by Jonathan Swift. Remember, Jonathan Swift was a poet, not only a prose writer, but also a poet. He wrote many poems, such as The Bee's Confession, Verses on the Death of Dr. Swift, and On Poetry, a Rhapsody, and The Grand Question Debated. Remember, he took pen names, pseudonyms like Isaac Bickerstaff, Drapier, Lemuel Gulliver. These are all pseudonyms that he used. Gulliver's Travels appeared anonymously as if it is written by Gulliver. Drapier's letters came as if it is written by Drapier. There is also one more, Simon Wagstaff. Simon Wagstaff. It is a pseudonym used by Jonathan Swift. Okay. He wrote On Poetry, a Rhapsody, A Grand Question Debated, which is the parody of an ode written by Thomas Gray. Which is the parody of an ode written by Thomas Gray? Is it The Progress of Poesy, The Bard, Ode on a Distant Prospect of Eton College, or Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Bowl of Goldfishes? It is Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat Drowned in a Bowl of Goldfishes. It is a parody of an ode. It is a mock heroic poem also. Okay, Sarah and Zalima. These are the two cats that he talked about. Thomas Gray wrote Pindaric Odes, Progress of Poesy and the Bard, Horatian Odes. Ode on the Distant Prospect of Eton College is a Horatian ode. He also wrote two Norse odes, Fatal Sisters and The Descent of Odin. Which novel by Aldous Huxley takes its title from Tables Turned? Tables Turned is a poem by Wordsworth. It is Aldous Huxley's Those Barren Leaves, which is the story of an Italian palace. Mrs. Aldwinkle and her friends are going there. I have asked my students to imagine in their minds, it is an Italian palace, there are barren leaves there, tables are turned, like that. Cross connect and remember. Okay, don't worry. It will be easy for you in the exam. Just relax and listen. Don't get stressed. Okay, you just understand that it's all there in your minds. Relax, think. Even if you go wrong, nothing will happen. Don't get worried about all that. Okay, we are all learning. This is an unfair exam where they don't give you the syllabus. They don't tell you what will be the thrust areas. You just do your best. We will be learning more and more. Not only this exam, I will open in front of you lots of other career options also by and by. Don't worry. This is a big world. There are so many things to do. With that relaxed mind, if you approach the exam, you will pass. Okay, which of her novels did Jane Austen publish under the pseudonym A Lady? Well, it was her first published novel. She was not very confident to put her name yet. So it is Sense and Sensibility. It is Sense and Sensibility, which is called, which is published under the pseudonym A Lady. Who is the narrator of Lady Oracle by Margaret Atwood? She is a writer who is pretending to have died. She is, feigning her own suicide. It is Joan Foster, Lady Oracle by Margaret Atwood. It would be good if you just take a look at all the works by Margaret Atwood. Some of these works, The Heart Goes Last, The Year of the Flood, Oryx and Craig, Mad Adam. Then Cat's Eye. There might be novels that you don't know very much. Just take a quick look in Wikipedia. It will be good. Joan Foster is in Lady Oracle. Elias Gray's also another novel. Which one among the following writers was not associated with Macmillan Group, a publishing house? Guys, one important thing that we don't know is about publishing houses. I should really study about publishing houses, do a short course or video or something eventually in the future. This is an area where we lack. There might be some questions there. Faber and Faber is where T.S. Eliot worked. So many things about publishing houses. Penguin, we don't know about it, but doesn't matter. Just this question you can remember. With Macmillan Group, Matthew Arnold was associated. W.B. Yeats was associated. Even Rabindranath Tagore, his Gitanjali was published by Macmillan, but not George Bernard Shaw. All right. Who said about Othello? It has a phantom of a fable, but a very bad phantom. It is the man who coined poetic justice, Thomas Rhymer. Thomas Rhymer is the man who coined the term poetic justice. I'm not explaining too much today. It is just a short video because we should be relaxed. We should not be worried about what we don't know. Be proud of what you know. You have studied so much. 1 year before, 2 years before, you were nothing compared to what you're now. You're amazing, but don't be arrogant. Don't think you have all done your everything already. No, you and I, all of us are just beginners. We are just starting to learn. By and by, we'll start a career. Things will come to us. And remember, guys, when you keep on learning, your career will only improve. Your prospects will improve. So 12th question, what according to Coleridge is the living power and prime agent of all human perception as a repetition in the finite minds of the eternal act of the infinite I am. It is there in everyone. That is the meaning. But it is not secondary imagination. It is primary imagination. Why it is not secondary? Because it is a repetition. It is not creative. It is just repeating what is already there. A prime agent of all human perception. It's there in everyone. So it can be fancy or primary imagination because secondary imagination is not there in everyone. But this is a repetition. So it is not secondary and creative. It is primary imagination. Instead of presenting it directly, the mental agony of Lady Macbeth has been expressed through the sleepwalking scene. The sleepwalking scene is a very important example of objective correlative. Because Lady Macbeth is not talking about her agony. Her agony is being depicted by means of an objective correlative. An objective correlative is like a metaphor. Okay? It is a set of objects or a chain of emotions that stand in for a particular emotion. A change of world is the first collection of poetry. A change of world. I will give you a clue. This is a feminist. So it is Adrienne Rich. Adrienne Rich, A Change of World. Which of the following is not a work by Lucy Irigaray? Lucy Irigaray wrote Elemental Passions. She wrote Speculum and the Other Woman, and that's very famous. And The Sex Which Is Not One. This is also very famous. The Black Unicorn is not by Lucy Irigaray. Speculum and the Other Woman is by Lucy Irigaray. The Sex Which Is Not One is by Lucy Irigaray. Important. In which year was Bloom's seminal work, The Anxiety of Influence, published? Remember, The Anxiety of Influence is very famous and important. It is 1973. Patterns of Prose Communication in Prose Fiction, from Bunyan to Beckett. Oh, that is the subtitle of The Implied Reader by Wolfgang Iser. The Implied Reader is about patterns of prose communication in prose fiction. Oh, Implied Reader is about prose fiction, remember? It is from Bunyan to Beckett. Will you remember that? The Implied Reader is by Wolfgang Iser. A concept also, essay also. Implied Author is a concept by Wayne C. Booth. Wayne C. Booth in The Rhetoric of Fiction. Implied Author. Implied Reader, Wolfgang Iser. Feminism Without Borders. Decolonizing Theory, Practicing Solidarity is by Feminism Without Borders. Guys, if you have some time, take a look at all these 3 important feminists, Indian feminists. It's important. Indian feminism, Kalyani Valad, Google search bhi karna, because I've done a YouTube video also, because there could be a question. They sometimes ask from Sara Sureri, Gauri Vishwanathan, or Chandra Talpade Mohanty. And it is Chandra Talpade Mohanty who wrote Feminism Without Borders, Decolonizing Theory, Practicing Solidarity. Okay, Chandra Talpade Mohanty. Feminism Without Borders, 3333. Remember that. Okay, easy way to remember. 19th question, which of the following is not a poetry collection by A.K. Mehrotra? A.K. Mehrotra wrote Middle Earth, 9 enclosures, distance in statute miles. Will you remember these three? Middle Earth, 9 enclosures, distance in statute miles. Okay, that is by A.K. Mehrotra. Alfred Jingle in Pickwick Papers is a poet and essayist, actor and terrorist, romantic lover, loquacious coachman. It is actor and trickster. Alfred Jingle in the Pickwick Papers is an actor and trickster. Tell yourself 10 times, I know a lot of things. I stand a good chance to pass. I will not give up. I will go with a calm mind and write this exam and rock. Whatever happens, I'll be happy. I will keep on studying. If I pass this exam, I will keep on studying. If I do not pass this exam, I will keep on studying. The more better you become, the better career you will have. Because our life is not aimed at one exam. It is aimed at a great career and great happiness. Okay, so all the best for tomorrow. I am sure you will rock. I'm sure that questions will be easy if you keep your cool. Okay, no more for some days. I will be back with more very soon, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow or the day after, I will be back with an analysis of the question paper. Remember the questions as far as you can and let me know. Okay, you are all my babies. Remember, nobody is perfect. Nobody is great. We are all human beings struggling. Be humble. If we realize that we are all the same, we are all human beings. You and me and professors in universities and Gayatri Spivak and Derrida are all the same. We are born. We have to struggle. We have to somehow make a living and survive, do our best for the society, and then die. So don't worry. We are all doing our best. God will be there with you tomorrow. You will have all the blessings from heaven. Okay? All the best. Thank you very much. I am ending the live session now, and we will meet again very soon.